Hello, my name is Charlotte Beyer, and this is the third video in the series that we're going to talk about ebooks, on how to find ebooks, what ebook content do we have, what links do you have to use to get the ebook content in D2L, and things like that. So I'm going to kind of take you around our library website and our resources, and then kind of show you that information. Okay, so here we are at the library homepage, and once again, so the main way you're going to search for ebooks is just this journals and ebooks tabs, like we search for journals, but instead we are going to search for journals and ebooks. So I'm just going to look for symptom to diagnosis. And then click search. Okay, so you can see symptom diagnosis and evidence-based guide. There's a few different resources we have. So say we want the 2021, the 4th edition. So what we do is click on Access Medicine, and then we just click on here, and here we are right in the guide. This is the table of contents for the ebook. So you can see that, say we were looking for the diagnostic process. Let's just say looking in the first chapter. So all we'd have to do now is we can just actually use this link at the top of the page to copy it, to put it in D2L. Really easy. Or we could look at a specific section, and they can like scroll by section. They actually have a different, I believe, section ID. So let's see. Yeah, so actually, if you wanted them to say, look at a specific section. So let's just say we wanted them to look at the threshold model. This actually has just the actual section ID for this particular section. So instead of having them do link to the whole chapter, they can link to different sections, which is really, really great for you to do. So that is basically in the very simple process on how to get to ebook content within journals and ebooks. So basically, remember the journals and ebooks list is a searchable list of all of our different resources in terms of ebooks and journals. So if you have a textbook they're looking for, please search the journal list. If the journals and ebook list, if you don't see it there, you can always email eresources@rosalindfranklin.edu, and we will actually see if it's there for you. Just be aware that some of the ebook publishers, for some of the really big titles, like Bates Guide to Physical Examination, I think is one of them, they will package the ebooks with other ebooks. So as an example, instead of just paying, say, $1,000 for an ebook content for a year for unlimited use, they will basically say, well, in order to get for institutional use, you need to buy 20 other books with this one ebook. So like basically you have to spend $25,000 to $30,000 for the one ebook for 1 year, and that's every single year, which is why some of the ebook titles we just can't get, because we just do not want to spend $30,000 a year on one specific resource. It's just not the best use for money, and with the statistics, sometimes it doesn't help. So basically, that's why. It's not like we just go to Amazon and get a Kindle version, and there you go. For institutional use, it's a little more complicated than that. But I would always check with us to see, you know, what if we can get it or not. But just be aware that some of the ebooks are not very gettable, just because the publishers have put so many different restrictions on them. So just be aware of that. But what I did want to show you in this video is actually show you a few different resources that we have for ebook content. So one of our main resources is the McGraw-Hill titles in Access Anesthesiology, Access Medicine, Access Pharmacy. So these are three resources you can always find ebooks in. So as an example, you say you want to look for medical titles, so you look at Access Medicine. Access Medicine is the biggest of these packages, and it has the most ebooks. So you can see that when you click on there, you can see all these different ebook titles. If you just want to look at, say we look at a Goodman and Gilman's, we just click on the ebook title and then go right to the ebook. Really easy. If we wanted to just do a chapter, again, we could just copy the link and put it right in our D2L course. Pretty easy. So that's a pretty simple way. Okay, just the basics of doing that. However, if you want to see everything we have, you can actually click on Library. If you click on Library, you can see that we have some of these books. Okay, this right here. You can actually limit by specialty. So as an example, let's look at patient communication. We want to look at that one. So you can see that there are 3 books that are with patient communications. As an example, there's Understanding Medical Professionalism as an ebook that we can do. So if you're looking at this, you can go and just pick out chapters or pick out the whole book if you'd like, and you can use that within your courses. If you're looking at stuff with neurology, click on neurology, and then you can see the different titles that we have in neurology. If you're looking at obstetrics and gynecology, same thing. We can go. Williams Obstetrics is actually in the ebook form. If you see the book you want is published by McGraw-Hill, it's very likely that we have it in one of our collections. So just be aware of that. Okay, so those are really, really simple. That's one source. If you're looking for ebooks that are related to anesthesiology, try taking a look at Access Anesthesiology. I know our nurse anesthesia department looks at this, uses this resource. But these are all different ones, anesthesiology. So as an example, let me go here. This one, since it's mostly anesthesiology, it's not going to have the list of specialties. But there's things, I know medical ventilation they have in this one, critical care. You can see essentials of medical ventilation. And there's also critical care titles. Okay, so just be aware of that. So you might want to use one of those titles. So an example, if you want to look at anesthesiology, 3rd edition, and go, and then you could actually search within the textbook, and then just say, I'm just going to type in nurse within the textbook, and you could actually search within the textbook to find what you're looking for. Pretty simple. So again, it really does help you. It's a very nice resource for you to use. So if you're looking for pharmacy, you might want to look at Access Pharmacy. Access Pharmacy also has some other ebooks for you to use. Some of the Naplex review guides, some of the pharmacotherapy stuff. Again, you go to books in the library, and then you can see what we have. Now, for your convenience, I did, on the guide that I have for the library, I did actually make an Excel list of all of the Access McGraw-Hill titles in terms that we have in one of these 3 products. Okay, to help you kind of see what we have, because we have a lot of titles, and it's hard to advertise them all because it really depends on what you're looking for. But we do have these titles for you. Okay, so again, really nice resources. You don't have to pay extra for. We pay part of our subscription, so please take advantage of them. So now another resource you might want to use for ebooks is Pharmacy Library. Pharmacy Library titles in the APHA department, so I believe it's the American Pharmacy Association. American Pharmacy Association. There are a lot of acronyms. I'm trying to remember them all. So basically what you do in the reference library, you can actually go to their reference library, and you can see a lot of the titles in our reference library. Now, some of these titles are newer, some of them are like 10 years old, but it really depends what you like to look at, okay? You can see Immunization Handbook for Pharmacists, 4th edition, which was written by one of our faculty members in there, Lauren Angelo. And you can see this is the full ebook, and then you can just click on a chapter, get to the chapter, and they actually give you a link right here, which you can use to put into your courses. So it's very useful. All right, so that's another source for ebooks. Now, if you go to electronic resources page, you're going to see that we also have Springer Medicine eBooks collection. So there's over 2,000 ebooks published between 2005 and 2010. This was a package we had years ago. And so when we subscribed to the package, we got to keep that content. But there are still some good resources if you want to look at them here. They are also in here as well. Okay. So those are just kind of some of the sources for ebook content that we have in the library. The other one I forgot before I mentioned is we have nutrition care manuals. So we have the nutrition care manual. So basically it's the professional practice manual for nutrition. Okay, we have the nutrition care manual, but we also have the pediatric version as well. So you can see that you look at this, you can look at the table of contents, accept, save settings, here we go. And then you can see the diet manual. So it looks at, we look at all the different content. We look at conditions. So it's not set up like a regular ebook, but it can kind of be set up like more of a database kind of thing. So you can see that we want to look at an example. Look at heart healthy fiber tips, let's just say. So you can see this is going to be some information. Again, you can easily just copy and paste the link into your course. I can't say this enough. So this is just some information. If you see any resource that you're interested to learn more about, please let us know at eresources@rosalindfranklin.edu, because this is kind of a quick, really fast overview, but we can actually like customize things for you if you talk to us. So that is basically, oh, one more, I forgot, StatRef. Here we go, I accept, okay. So one thing in StatRef we have is how to read a paper, the basics of evidence-based medicine and healthcare. This may be useful for your, as we look at evidence-based medicine, for anything with that type of information. So this is an ebook content. So as an example, look at searching the literature. Let's talk about searching the literature, and you can again add this into your course. Another one that you can use, how to write, publish, and present in the health sciences, is also very popular as well for some of our, I know our online programs use this. So just so you know, these are some things that you might be interested in. I just kind of want to give you a heads up about them. Okay. So that's essentially like ebook content, just to show you the different resources. We also have in electronic resources, we have a tab for ebooks, and we have a listing of the ebook collections, just so you know. Psychiatry Online is also another one for more of a behavioral health kind of ones. They have the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, is the DSM, is in Psychiatry Online. So we do have a good amount of ebook content, so I would really recommend either use the ebooks and journals and ebooks tab, or you look in one of these collections, and if not, contact us. But that's kind of how you get ebook content and get the links for ebook content into your resource.